Bro, most modern men are weak and soft. I was one of them up until I gave up the bad habits a few years ago. The cause of modern men being weak and soft are the modern addictions. It's so easy to get things these days. You want pleasure and intimacy? There's porn. You want a false sense of brotherhood? There's video games. You want highly processed food and sugar? There's junk food and Uber Eats. You see what I mean? A strong masculine man would find real love and intimacy. He would cultivate a real sense of brotherhood with the men around him, and he will eat the least processed, the most nutritious food to nourish his body after a heavy workout session. Do you want to be the strong masculine man, or do you want to give in to the modern addictions and be a soft weak man forever? I don't blame you for getting sucked into it. It's so easy to satisfy and manipulate a young man with no sense of direction. And that's what happened to me, bro. I indulge in every instant gratification activity you can think of, whether it be watching porn, playing video games, eating junk food, or doing drugs. I was doing these activities multiple times a day, which is disgusting to even think of. And guess how it made me feel? It made me feel drained, unhappy, and purposeless. That's exactly what the big corporations and the people in power want. They want you to be a consumer so you buy, buy, and buy. Strong masculine men would never do that. Strong masculine men go out there and conquer the world. They become entrepreneurs and people with purpose. Whereas you and me, we fell into the trap of instant gratification. Whereas the strong masculine man followed delayed gratification. Instant gratification is when you get the pleasure of doing the activity right then and there. But the more of the activity that you're gonna need to get the same level of pleasure that you once got, the longer you do it. Big corporations know this and they manipulate you in ways that you don't even realize. They probably know human psychology better than actual psychologists. They don't want strong masculine men, bro. They want a weak generation of men that they can manipulate so that they can get the most money out of you. Think about it. What do they gain from there being more entrepreneurs and men with ambition in the world? It's nothing but competition for them. Whereas if you got sucked into the modern addictions, you'd be same as a woman and spend all your money on instant gratification. Think about it. All the bad habits that I mentioned all cost money. Video games cost money, junk food costs money, and drugs cost money as well. These big video game companies like EA profit off of losers like you, bro. And I say that with love, so don't take it the wrong way. I'm saying it now because something should have clicked inside you to say, this is enough, I want to change. Bro, fast food companies like McDonald's and the new ones popping up every day would never go out of business because of people like you, bro. Okay, so now I painted a good picture of what men are like these days. But let's go back to 100 years ago, where all these bad habits weren't even a thing. Imagine how much healthier men were. Imagine how much strong and masculine men were. They had more testosterone than you because they didn't indulge in instant gratification. Instead, they indulged in delayed gratification. But this is what men should be like again. But unfortunately, it's going in the opposite direction. And it's going fast in the opposite direction as well. But this month was Men's Mental Health Month, and no one even batted an eye. But for LGBTQ, everyone gathered to celebrate it. And they were both on the same month. The LGBTQ community only became a thing a few years ago, whereas us men have been here since the start. Where's appreciation for us, bitch? Forget about the mental health month, bro. We need to take care of our mental health for life. If you become soft and weak, so will your mental health. You'll become someone with no discipline or willpower to do anything. You will be a waste man for the rest of your life. You have to realize this, bro. The more you become addicted to the bad habits, the harder it's gonna be for you to quit. So quit right the fuck now, bro, before it ends up being too late, to the point where you have a mental or a physical illness because of it. And I've been through it, bro. I got hit with a mental illness called psychosis about 2.5 years ago, and it was induced by a drug called LSD. It took a fucking mental illness for me to realize that what I'm doing is bad for me. Don't let this be you, is what I'm saying. I have not been myself, riddled with symptoms, where I couldn't do much for 2.5 years, bro. But now I've gotten up to a point where I can do these videos and educate young men on things like this. At the worst part of this journey, I thought random people wanted to harm me, bro. I'll be walking down in a park and the next thing I know, I'm thinking about someone coming and stabbing me in the back. How dark is that, bro? And I still have one symptom that hasn't gone away yet, and it's called auditory hallucinations. It's where you hear voices inside your head. This has stopped me from going out of the house many times because of how extreme and distressing it gets. This is the type of shit that you have to deal with when it's too late. And I don't want it to be too late for you, bro. You still have time. The only delayed gratification activity that I've done for a long time and that I'm proud of as well is lifting weights. I started when I was 16 years old and now I'm 23. I have built my dream body, and you can too if you stick to it. Modern men are weak and soft, and you can start to undo that by starting to lift weights. Lifting weights is a surefire way of increasing your testosterone. Lifting weights will move you up the social hierarchy, and you'll be perceived as more of an alpha male, as cringe as it sounds. It will get the respect of men around you, and it will get the attraction of women as well. You will slowly start to realize what delayed gratification can do for you, and you will realize that if you can do this with your body, you can easily apply it to other aspects of your life. You will learn what discipline is, and you will learn what willpower is, and you will level them up as soon as you start going to the gym. After that, you can level up your discipline in other aspects of life by doing the good habits instead of the bad ones. You will realize that if you can literally change the way you look, bro, you can change your mental health and your bad habits as well. One by one, you will start replacing the bad habits with the good ones, like reading, meditating, gratitude journaling, and building a business. It's time that we as a generation say enough is enough and not wait till a tragedy or an illness to hit us for us to realize that what we're doing is bad for us. For some of us, like me, unfortunately, we need the lesson to sting a little bit for us to learn from it. Just think about it. You probably know some dumbass that speeds around in his car and almost crashes, but never does slow down. He needs to actually crash his car for him to learn and slow down the next time he drives. It's the same with everything. Especially for us young men, we sometimes think that life is a video game and we do whatever the fuck we want without thinking about the repercussions of it. So it's up to you, bro, whether you want to change your life or not. And you also need to be a leader and say, fuck this. When I get out of this, I will help my friends out as well. It's easy to have a lone wolf mindset, but we all know that the lone wolf dies alone. This is bigger than you, bro. We need to try and change our entire generation to our way of thinking. There's so many young men out there down bad that needs help like I did. They don't have the guidance at the moment to navigate themselves through their journey, so they're just stuck at the moment. Most young men don't even know what delayed gratification is. So how are they ever going to get into the good habits? They're just stuck doing the bad habits over and over again till they're sick of it. But they keep doing it because they're addicted to it. Bro, at least you have a desire to improve. That's why you found this video. At least you know that self-improvement does exist. There are mainly the younger men that scroll on TikTok the whole day and jack off 5 times a day without even realizing that self-improvement is even a thing. We need to help them, and I don't even know how, because they wouldn't even search for this type of content in the first place. We need to find a way to integrate what they're watching with self-improvement content, which is going to be fucking hard, by the way, but that's my goal. I'm going to find a way to seamlessly mix the two types of content so that over time they will be inclined to go out of their own way to search for self-improvement content. Because if we don't help these young men, who will? It sure as hell aren't going to be their teachers or parents. But for you, bro, all you have to do is start lifting weights to get you introduced into delayed gratification, and then you can slowly implement the good habits like I mentioned. This will make you a strong and masculine man and get you well on your way on your self-improvement journey.